Welcome to the Knightwatch. Today, the king has passed judgment upon Shaolin Hand Lock, a 1978 Chinese martial arts film. Will his verdict weaken the hollowing that threatens our world, or will the curse hold fast? Let's find out. Shaolin Hand Lock has all the ingredients for a muscular Shaw Brothers revenge thriller. A murdered kung fu master, a deadly family technique, siblings pursuing their father's killer, an undercover infiltration, and old secrets waiting at the end of the trail. But what keeps the 1978 film from reaching the studio's upper tier is not a shortage of ideas, but an excess of them. The movie keeps adding conspiracies and family revelations when its strongest pleasures come from the much simpler business of martial artists stalking one another toward an inevitable reckoning. Li Pai is a reclusive kung fu master and an expert of the Shaolin Hand Lock, an unstoppable technique that he has only taught to his son, daughter, and 2 other students. He knows there is one way to defeat it, and after giving it to his son, a man shows up and kills him and the 2 students, thinking they were Li Pai's son and daughter. Li Qingying learns who committed the crime and goes to Thailand to confront the killer and avenge his father's death. He discovers there is a deeper connection between his father and the killer, Ling Hao, than he could have imagined. And while such revelations are common in Shaw Brothers films, this time everything felt a little too convenient. That being said, it is time to turn to the king's judgment upon this film, rendered through his chosen marks. Directing. The direction is capable when concentrating on confrontation and martial arts, particularly once Li Qingying enters Ling Hao's organization and must maintain his cover while surrounded by suspicious men. The film is less assured when handling the increasingly complicated dramatic machinery surrounding the revenge plot. Individual sequences work better than the movie's overall dramatic shape, producing a solid martial arts adventure without the commanding hand needed to make all of its twists feel equally important. Writing. The writing efficiently communicates loyalties, suspicions, and revelations, but rarely becomes a memorable attraction of its own. Much of it exists to explain another relationship, another piece of history, or another shift in allegiance. It performs that necessary work competently, although the characters are generally more compelling when their intentions are expressed through action rather than conversation. Story. The basic revenge story is considerably stronger than the increasingly tangled plot built around it. Li Pai's murder gives his children a clean motivation, and their pursuit of Fang Yun Paiao into Thailand provides a natural trajectory. The discovery that Fang was merely part of a larger conspiracy initially expands the story effectively, but smuggling connections, infiltration, assassination attempts, hidden relationships, and old family grievances eventually crowd one another. There is a good revenge tale buried here, but the screenplay keeps hanging additional ornaments on the sword. Casting. The casting gives the material considerably more authority. The principal performers fit comfortably into the Shaw Brothers martial arts world, with the heroes convincing as skilled fighters and the villains carrying the necessary menace. The opposing personalities within Ling Hao's organization are especially useful because Qingying's infiltration requires adversaries who feel dangerous before anyone throws a punch. Acting. The performances are similarly strong. The cast commits to the melodrama without treating the material dismissively, which becomes increasingly important as the plot accumulates revelations. Suspicion, loyalty, and vengeance remain convincing even when the narrative becomes complicated, and the performers give the personal conflicts enough weight to carry the movie through its weaker passages. Characters. Qingying makes an effective main character because revenge requires him to do more than simply hunt down his father's killers. Infiltrating Ling's organization forces him to deceive his enemies and survive their scrutiny, giving him a more interesting challenge than straightforward combat. Meng Ping brings another avenue for vengeance, while Kun Shi's suspicion makes him an effective counterweight. Some later relationships become more convoluted than emotionally powerful, but the principal characters remain engaging. Environment. Moving the action to Thailand and setting it in the 70s gives Shaolin Hand Lock a distinctive identity among Shaw Brothers productions. Ling Hao's compound and the surrounding locations provide a convincing arena for infiltration, criminal intrigue, and martial arts confrontation. The change of scenery helps the movie feel larger than a routine clan revenge story and gives Cheng Ying the sensation of having followed his enemies into genuinely hostile territory. Cinematography. The cinematography serves the martial arts and locations adequately without consistently transforming them into memorable imagery. Combat remains readable, and the Thai settings provide visual variety, but framing and lighting are generally practical rather than exceptional. The camera records the action successfully. It rarely becomes part of the excitement itself. Music. The score provides dependable support for the revenge narrative, adding urgency to confrontations and tension to Cheng Ying's dangerous position inside Ling's organization. It strengthens the atmosphere without overwhelming the film and contributes nicely to the increasingly hostile mood as alliances begin shifting. Sound design. Sound is where the technical presentation truly lands its punches. Blows, weapons, and martial arts movements have the exaggerated physical presence that gives this kind of Shaw Brothers action much of its personality. The soundtrack supplies fights with force and rhythm, making combat feel more powerful than the cinematography alone sometimes manages. Film editing. The editing handles the action particularly well. Fights remain coherent, exchanges are easy to follow, and the movie knows how to cut around physical movement without reducing martial arts to an indecipherable storm of fragments. It also manages the numerous characters and reversals with enough clarity that the complicated narrative rarely becomes impossible to follow. Only one part made the Chained King's steward rewind the film, because the event happened so quickly that the Chained King wasn't sure he understood what happened. Pacing. Despite the overloaded story, the movie maintains impressive momentum. Cheng Ying's infiltration provides a steady source of danger, while suspicion from within Ling's organization keeps the plot moving even between major fights. New confrontations and discoveries arrive frequently enough that the film seldom stalls, even when the screenplay is carrying more baggage than necessary. Enjoyment. The individual ingredients are more enjoyable than the finished recipe. There are strong performers, good martial arts, an appealing revenge setup, and an interesting change of scenery, but the increasingly elaborate plot prevents the movie from delivering the straightforward satisfaction its premise promises. It remains entertaining, though there is a persistent sense that a leaner story, or even a more elaborate one, could have hit considerably harder. Rewatch. The martial arts, performances, and infiltration storyline provide some reason to return, and knowing the various relationships beforehand may actually make the complicated plot easier to appreciate on another viewing. Still, the weaker story construction and merely adequate visual presentation limit the urge to revisit it compared with stronger Shaw Brothers adventures. Final judgment, Shaolin Hand Lock, begins with the wonderfully simple fuel of martial arts cinema. You killed my father, and now I'm coming for you. Its problems begin when that road to vengeance acquires so many intersections. Strong casting and performances, an excellent Thai setting, terrific sound work, sharp editing, and brisk pacing keep the film firmly on its feet. The martial arts deliver, and Cheng Ying's undercover maneuvering adds welcome tension to the familiar revenge formula. But an unnecessarily complicated story and less distinguished direction, costumes and photography prevent all those strengths from locking together as tightly as the movie's signature technique. The Shaolin Hand Lock itself may be lethal. The screenplay could have used a tighter grip. For these reasons, the King gives Shaolin Hand Lock the seal of the worthy, a high middle grade that shows the movie had potential, but just did not fully live up to it. And with this judgment, the hollowing once again recedes, though the amount is so small that the world at large may not even notice. Perhaps, somewhere, a chain has cracked or a small building was restored, but we in the capital may never know. The hollowing's roots are deep, and clearing it may take several lifetimes. Thank you for your attendance today. Until the Knightwatch brings the next film before the King, this judgment stands. If you wish to join the Knightwatch, like this judgment, Subscribe to the order to be summoned when the next film is brought before the king, and leave a comment so the king may know his verdict has been heard. Every watcher helps us break the Hollowing's curse.